Hey, how y'all doing out there? I got some old crazy news for y'all, man. Diddy being accused of masturbating into a Biggie Smalls t-shirt. They talking about putting more time on him for masturbating in the shirt. But if that's the case, what about all the socks he let go in? The napkins, paper towels, the bedspreads. He gonna be in jail for a long time if they're accumulating all of these juices that he been letting flow into society. Is it really a crime? Should he go to jail for letting loose in a Biggie t-shirt? Y'all need to see this.
He took me out of a dangerous game, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I was selling drugs real hard, you know? When I got the record deal, all that got cut short. So it's like he Jesus to me, you know what I'm saying? Because he just saved me. And it's real, and I go all out.
Nah, I ain't saying none of that. I'm not Jesus.
To
Jesus.
Me, I look at him like, I say Jesus.
And the next question is, watch out for the thunder out this month.
He saved me.
Love you.
I don't think people realize like how young we were, you know, so we're actually like kids in this multi-billion-dollar industry. You know, two young men that really had a chemistry, really got along, and were just really enjoying.
There was a genuine connection there, a genuine care.
It's all good.
I don't care what nobody say. It seemed like they was lovers. They was too touchy, too feely. This man said he was Jesus. He saved his life. That means he'll do anything for Diddy. I mean, anything. And y'all can imagine what Diddy probably wanted him to do. A big boy, jiggly arms, running around with baby oil all over his body. I'm pretty sure that'd be amusing to a lot of freaks out there in Hollywood. And Diddy just so happened to be a freak in Hollywood that was real close to Piggy, and ain't no telling what he had that boy doing. Now the thrill is on, even though the thrill is gone, and Diddy is not coming home. They got all different types of allegations against this man. They speaking in the news like he may never come home because they don't clone Tyrone, and Diddy know he wrong. Cassie got $30 million, and ain't no telling what she doing with the money. I feel like she done relapsed. Her husband looked like a junkie. He showed up to court. When her husband was outside the courthouse, it looked like it was Skid Row out there. The whole trial, it looked like Skid Row. You got YouTubers running left and right. You got junkies holding cameras to their faces. Everybody trying to get their shine on off of the Diddy case. But now it's looking like them same people that was down there at the courthouse ain't got nothing better else to do because the trial is basically over. We trying to figure it out. Now they came up with some new news about Diddy ejaculating all over Biggie's t-shirt. Now everybody up in arms about it. Hey, we got to pay the bills. If he's skeeting on t-shirts, we got to make this front page news because the people at the news, they don't figure out another loophole to make this trial more interesting because Diddy headed to jail for a long time.
Turn now to the other news of the day, and we're following some breaking news in the Sean Combs prostitution case. His defense lawyers just dropped their push to speed up his sentencing. It comes after Combs was acquitted last week of the most serious charges against him, but convicted on 2 lesser charges and remains behind bars while he awaits his sentencing. Eyewitness News reporter Kimberly Richardson is live in Lower Manhattan. And Kim, there was a lot of back and forth on this issue today between attorneys.
Liz, and all that back and forth actually happened before today's 2 o'clock hearing. The hearing lasted less than 2 minutes and literally was a full circle moment. All parties involved agreed to the judge's original sentencing date of October 3rd. This was all done by conference call. No one was physically in the courtroom on the 24th floor here, except for members of the media and the public. We briefly did hear from Sean Combs say hello, and his attorney mentioned he was in his office. 2 federal prosecutors were also on that conference call. So as it stands now, Sean Combs will remain behind bars at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. A jury found him guilty of 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution last week, but the 55-year-old was acquitted of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. At the time, the judge rejected a $1 million bail package and proposed October 3rd for sentencing. The defense fiercely objected, pointing out Combs was found not guilty of the most serious charges and asked the judge to expedite sentencing. Combs' legal team even went as far as citing, quote, exceptional circumstances. The fact that the mother of 4 of Combs' kids is no longer alive, Kim Porter, passed away in 2018. The government urged the judge to stand firm in that October date. We did expect to hear more back and forth today, and it's not clear why the defense essentially walked back its request. Moving forward, Combs will be interviewed, and a report must be handed in on or before August 29th.
They ask him all about his background. Has he ever had any convictions? And obviously, the probation department looks up and determines whether or not that's accurate. But they interview him first. What is he doing in the community? Has he committed any, crimes? Has he donated to any charities? So they want to get all of their background on him to make a final determination, because under the federal sentencing guidelines, you have to consider all of that before you sentence an individual.
Now, one thing the defense will no doubt highlight and will hope will play into the judge's sentence, they insist that Sean Combs has been in therapy and working on himself, something Combs claims was actually happening at the time of his arrest in that Manhattan hotel room, September 16th of last year. For now, we're live in Lower Manhattan. Kimberly Richardson, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Kimberly.
From the window all the way to the wall, Diddy like to get it on, just like so many people out here. And like I like to say, if it wasn't for freaky people, half of us wouldn't even be here. Your mama a freak, you just don't want to admit it. Now, you know your daddy a freak, but ain't no telling how freaky your daddy get. Your daddy probably get freaky with his homeboys the same way Diddy did. Your daddy probably was a little freak in elementary school, smiling all in the yearbook picture like Tyler Perry. Ain't no telling how freaky your daddy was. But as far as Diddy children go, they know details about their daddy, but we don't know all the details about their mama. But seeing how Kim Porter was with Diddy, she had to be on some Cassie level type freakage. And I ain't trying to talk about her because she no longer here. But the truth of the matter is, any and everybody that was in his circumference was down with the humping. With other people, not Diddy, I'm talking about male escorts, men that he paid under the table, some cheap, dirty bastards that'll go raw dog and a stranger for $800. A lot of times they wasn't even getting paid that. Even though they spoke on what the male escorts was getting paid, they never fully discussed how much money was hitting Cassie's bank account. Or the other girls that he was paying these men to freak off, was they doing it for free? Was they doing it for rent money? Because he was getting these hoes for the low. And you figure he worth $1 billion, he be breaking them off 20 G's a night. Everybody get 30,000 for the freak off. It wasn't even going down like that. And like I said, the news got new news, and y'all need to listen at this news because Diddy going to jail for a long time.
Sentencing date, hearing unexpectedly adjourned following the conviction of Sean Diddy Combs last week. In fact, defense attorneys and federal prosecutors initially agreed to a September 22nd sentencing date for Combs. This is ahead of a remote hearing that was set for this afternoon. But shortly before the hearing, attorneys for both sides sent a joint letter to the judge saying that they had agreed to the original proposed sentencing date of October 3rd. Combs was acquitted of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking, but convicted on 2 counts of prostitution-related charges. He faces a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison on those counts. And our ABC News chief investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky has the latest.
Kana, Sean Combs is going to be sentenced this fall after he was convicted of 2 counts of prostitution-related charges that together carry a maximum prison term of up to 20 years. He is unlikely to get that much, but federal prosecutors are expected to ask for at least 5 years. Combs will receive credit for time served, which will subtract about a year from the ultimate sentence. His acquittal on sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy charges took away the possibility of life in prison for Combs, who's preparing to ask for leniency. The defense has already argued Combs has taken steps to address what the judge called a propensity for violence, as seen on 2016 hotel security camera footage. And his attorney said Combs began a batterers program in New York prior to his arrest. The defense has also argued Combs did not make money from prostitution, but rather was the primary client of the male escorts he was convicted of transporting. His attorneys were prepared to ask for an expedited sentencing. They backed off that at the last minute, and so the judge has set Sean Combs' sentencing for October 3rd. Kana?
Interesting. All right, Aaron Katersky, our thanks to you.
All I know is I ain't buying no Biggie t-shirts off of Craigslist, or I ain't getting on eBay trying to get them Diddy and them Biggie t-shirts, because it's a possibility that he signed his autograph on it with his own personal body fluids. I ain't trying to do all that. Y'all gotta let me know in the comment section. Do y'all feel like Diddy is a bigger freak than your mama? Because like I said earlier, some of y'all mamas, and you wonder why you got your daddy, your brother got their daddy, your sister got their daddy, and then your other brother now that don't even live with your mama, they got their own mama, and so-and-so got their mama. And when y'all get together, y'all be looking at each other like y'all cousins, calling each other brothers and sisters. Y'all ain't even full-blooded like that. But if you ask me, if y'all got the same mama, y'all full-blooded regardless of who y'all daddy is, but your mama's still a freak. And your daddy, an even bigger freak for being with your nasty ass mama. So what? He was skeeting on them t-shirts, man. Do he need to go to jail for that? If that's the case, everybody need to go to jail. I got a pile of socks right now that look like evidence. Y'all don't like the way I tell it. I sit up here and say whatever the hell come to my head. Cause this ain't about nothing, man. But it's about something for the news. You know what I'm saying? Diddy wrong, and he need to be in jail. He don't skeet it on t-shirts. He don't skeet it on jeans. This man don't skeet it on thongs. He the king of skeeting, man. Lil Jon need to move over from the window to the wall. He skeeted on Biggie t-shirt. And by how Biggie was acting in that video, he might have liked it. He probably liked the fact that Diddy skeeted all over his shirt. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comment section, man. I got so much love for y'all. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification button too. And one more thing before I go, man. Subscribe to my channel if that's what you want. Subscribe to my channel if that's what you want. But if that's not what you like, then you must be a